Hi friends, welcome back to another episode of Fix This House. On today's episode, I'll be showing you how to install a floating sink. Now this model also has leg extensions that you can see right here to make it a console sink. And on this video, I'll also be showing you how to install the faucet and the complete plumbing for this sink. So stay tuned. So once again friends, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, please consider pressing that subscribe and notification bell so you can always be in tune on DIYs, how-to videos, and product reviews that I do within this channel. Now this is the bathroom renovation that I'm currently doing on my guest bathroom, and it's time to install a brand new sink. The sink that I'll be installing today is the Swiss Madison console sink, but you can also use this as a floating type sink without the legs. So you can see it's a 24-inch console sink, and it is made out of nice porcelain. It does come with these nice matte legs, as you can see here, and all the hardware is all included onto this kit. I'm just assembling all the leg parts, as you can see here, and I'm just gonna dry fit it onto where I want the sink to be located. It's not screwed onto the drywall itself. I'm just making sure that it is nice and centered onto where the drain is and to the shutoff valves. Again, the sink that we're actually going to be putting here is very heavy, and if we just screw it onto the drywall, that is not enough to support all that weight. So we're gonna go in to find where the studs sit, because that's where it'll determine where we're gonna anchor those bolts so that it can support that heavy weight. So if there's no stud onto this any area right here, then we have to take off the drywall, cut off a piece. We're gonna manufacture a frame stud behind this drywall, put back the drywall. It comes with the territory. It's pretty much how it is whenever you're installing these floating sinks, and depending if you have tile or concrete wall, then you're fine. Depending on when the studs are, if there's no studs that can support this sink, then we're gonna have to rip off the drywall, put the framing onto there so that it has enough support to support that heavy sink, put back the drywall, and then we can go from there. So now that we got the framing behind the drywall in place, we're going to measure out and check out all the centers. Right now where the holes are, I'm going to measure around the center area, which is going to be 7 3/4, and we're going to measure the full length of the sink, which is right there, 23 3/4 divided by 2, and that's the center. Now we're gonna temporarily just dry fit it onto the wall. I'm using my leveler. Make sure that this is nice and leveled horizontally and vertically. I'm gonna be measuring and marking it where it's gonna go against the wall. I'm also gonna be marking those 2 holes where I'm gonna be putting those bolts. Now the bolts are already included with the kit, as you can see right here, and it comes with the washers and the 2 bolts, as you can see right there. And I'm gonna be taking out the a little bit of a smaller size drill bit that I'm going to be using to pre-drill those holes onto the new 2x4s that I just installed behind the wall. Now to install these, I'm just going to hand tighten them at first. Now the easiest method that I found to tighten these is you're going to take the 2 nuts that are included. You're going to make sure that they're nice and butted up together, and you're going to tighten it with this 11/16 wrench. And also, if you have adjustable wrench, you can use that as well to tighten both nuts together. Make sure they're nice and tight. And then you're going to use your 11/16, and then you're going to tighten this halfway. To break those apart, just reverse the same concept. Just go and unbolt them and loosen them together and take them off. You're going to do the same thing for the other side. Easy as that. Now that you have these 2 bolts nice and secured, now if you are going to be putting that against drywall, it will not work and it will fail, because that thing will just rip right through. That's why it's very important that you follow through and make sure that those bolts are secured on the 2x4 against the wall. Now it's time for us to spray some texture. I'm going to be using this general purpose joint compound from BDEX. Going to be adding a little bit of water, making that yogurt like consistency. I'm going to be using my pancake compressor with the 1/4-inch hose. Again, I'll be using my Hiltex texture sprayer. Again, all the tools that I use in this video, I'll leave it in the description down below. I did make a video on how to spray texture, so I'll leave that on the description on the top right. And then we're going to paint along here, just blending it with my previous wall using the Dove White color paint that I chose. Now that once that's dry, now you can fully butt it against to the wall. Now I'm going to be taking these washers and placing it right up onto those bolts that I just installed. Just as you can see here, make sure that you place it nice and tight, and at the same time, before you tighten it down, make sure that it is nice and leveled vertically and horizontally. Now take the nuts that are provided and just insert them just like that onto the bolts. Very easy, and just hand tighten them as you go. Now you're going to be tightening this with your 11/16 wrench. Again, make sure you don't tighten this too much because there's a possibility that you could crack the porcelain. So just be very careful and don't over tighten. There you go. Now you can leave it like this. It's nice and floating. It's definitely up to you. If you want to leave it into a nice floating design and have that exposed plumbing, it's totally up to you. But I'm going to use the legs that are provided for this kit just so that it can complement, have that contrast. I'm having that black and white theme on my bathroom. And now I'm just going to be using my leveler to make sure that this is nice and leveled. Make sure that you level on each side of the legs. Once that's done, I'm going to be marking out where this is going to be placed at, because these are going to be secured to the wall. Just against drywall, you don't need to secure this on studs. This is the hardware that was included that's going to go right up against. We're going to be using some anchors that were provided, and then we're just going to screw this in. Also, with all the hardware that I'm using here is all provided with the kit if you do choose this Madison style sink. There you have it. We're going to do the left side, and then we're going to tighten down to the right side. Make sure that it is nice and secured. And there you have it. Both of them are nice and secured as you see. Now we're going to place back down the legs. Make sure it matches up on underneath. We're going to screw down with the provided hardware onto the sink itself. Now this will add extra support. And also we're going to be using these hidden type screw sets, and we're going to place it right up against the arm that is penetrating through the wall right there. There you have it. Everything is nice and placed. Everything is nice and secured. It looks pretty nice right now. Now we're going to go and install that faucet and that plumbing. And also, but before we do that, we're going to go apply some caulking. Now this caulking is waterproof. It can be used for indoor and outdoors, but this is what I use indoors, especially inside bathrooms. Make sure you place a nice bead right around any cracks that you might see. And then we're going to be using this MOEN faucet that I got from Home Depot. Again, all the tools here, I'll leave it in the description down below. Right now it's fairly straightforward. This comes with a base plate that comes optional. I don't like putting this base plate. I just want to keep it nice and simple, so I'm not going to be putting that base plate on. And then I'm just going to tighten it just like this. Before you place this faucet drain cap right here, make sure that around the surface is nice and clean. And we're going to be putting plumber's putty around that area, and you're going to be placing this on top just right there. Make sure you use that plumber's putty so you don't get any leaks. Now we're going to assemble the rod that controls pretty much the drainage. So the drainage stopper can be stopped by this rod, and you can again, this is supplied with the kit. I'm not going to go full detail on this, but as you can see where I'm assembling, it's pretty straightforward, very intuitive. And then here's the drain stopper. Now the drain stopper, you can place it into two ways. This one you can place it right up against the hole, but the other one you can place it right on just on the side, so you can easily take this cap on and off. It doesn't have to be secured fully, so I just chose that option. We're tightening down the lever. Now this lever is going to be controlled by the other lever that was attached at the top. Just pretty much screw this onto one of the hole options, secure it, and then you can use that to lift up and down that stopper. Now again, I'm using my channel lock pliers to tighten drains down, and then I'm using this Teflon plumber's tape to go around the threads. Now I like using this because make sure that you wrap this around onto the same direction that you're going to be tightening it so it doesn't fall off. This will prevent any leaking. Make sure you do it on both sides. Now we're attaching the hot side, then the cold side, and then you're going to use your wrench to tighten these down. Again, don't over tighten because you might end up cracking or pretty much damaging the threads. Now we're going to be placing the P-trap. This is fairly easy. I made a video on this on full detail on how to put a P-trap on. I'll leave it on the description on the top right. But very simply, I'm going to be changing this out to a fancier one later on, so stay tuned for that video. But for now, temporarily, I'm just going to be installing this plastic 1.5" P-trap. Now I'm going to be using this adapter because that tube is actually 1.25 inches, and the P-trap that I'll be using is 1.5 inches. So using that adapter will adapt to that 1.5 inches. So there you have it, temporarily installed for now, and everything is nice and aligned. And there you have it, you have your faucet and your P-trap all complete. So once again, friends, thank you so much for tuning in. There you have it. It's nice and working. Everything's working correctly. If you found value to this video and you found it amusing and helpful, please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can always be in tune on DIY's how-to videos and product reviews that I do within this channel. So stay tuned for that P-trap upgrade install that I'll be having on the next video. I'll see you next time.